What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another rebuild today here on the channel. Today what we're bringing is a Portland Trail Blazers rebuild. They currently sit at 3-5, and Damian Lillard, their best player, the face of their franchise, is off to a pretty poor start, which is unfortunate to see because he's without a doubt one of my favorite players in the league. So Dame's currently shooting 35% from the field and just 23.5% from beyond the arc. I'm not really sure what's going on with him, man. It just doesn't feel like Dame this year right now. I don't really understand why. But I think he's going to figure it out. That's typically what superstars do. They get in a little bit of a slump. We've only been, 8-9 games into this season right now. I think he's 100% going to figure it out. I am recording this on Thursday, so if by some means, you see this on Saturday or something and he figured it out, then we should be good from there. And we got a normal 3-year rebuild today with the Portland Trail Blazers. No injuries on, nothing like that. Our goal is to try to get them a championship as always. And if, you guys are feeling it, feel free to leave me some video ideas down below in the comment section. While you're down there, feel free to hit that sub button because we love growing this community. So we're going to try to figure out whatever the hell's going on with Dame today. Hopefully get him, back to that MVP caliber level that he has always seemed to play at. And this Portland Trail Blazers team a championship. Let's get into it. So this team currently sits at 3-5, as I mentioned. Again, it's not like the Portland Trail Blazers are supposed to be a top 3 team in the Western Conference, but they should definitely be in the playoff hunt. I know we're 8 games into the season. I'm not going to jump any, guns or anything like that, but it's not looking too great when Dame's not playing on his best. So we're going to quickly go over the roster. We might have a trade or two before we do get into the first season. Starting off with Damian Lillard, best player on this team, face of the franchise. I'm not trading him. He's 31 years old. He's not 38 years old, anything like that. He's going to be here the entire video. I have no problem keeping him at that point guard spot. Dennis Smith Jr. is probably not really going to play. They do have CJ McCollum, who's not a bad 2-guard whatsoever. I'd like to keep CJ. Unfortunately, he's just one of those guys in 2K for some reason tends to regress really unfairly, and it really does suck. Anthony Simons, absolutely huge on. I love this dude. I think he's going to be very, very good in this league if he's not already. Moving to the small forward spot, they made that trade with the Toronto Raptors last year. They picked up Norman Powell. They ended up re-signing him this past offseason. I like the value of the contract a lot. Is he a championship caliber starting small forward? I would say that really depends on the other pieces we do have around him. But as of now, I don't really have any plans to trade him. Madden updated it. It's great. I don't even play it. Nasir Little here as well. Could be a good bench piece for us. We have Tony Snell as well. Moving on, Larry Nance Jr., Robert Covington. It's not a long-term answer, but, it's definitely fillable. It's definitely doable for at least one season, I would say. And then Yusuf Nurkic, Cody Zeller, 2 really solid options in my opinion. So we're going to probably have to re-sign Nurkic this offseason. I'm definitely willing to do that. He ends up putting up pretty good stats in this game typically. But that being said, we might have a trade or two. I'm not 100% on that one yet, so I'll leave this to you guys with that first move of the rotation. This is going to be our first and only trade we're making before we do start simming year number 1. Robert Covington, Tony Snell, and Ben McLemore heading over to Utah. Bojan Bogdanovic, Jared Butler going to be coming back here. So Bogdanovic is just a little bit of an upgrade at that starting power forward spot. We are going to have Larry Nance Jr. coming off the bench. And honestly, I don't mind Rocco. He's a good 3-and-D guy technically, but according to the game anyways, Larry Nance Jr. and Robert Covington have the same 3-point rating of a B. So I'm not really losing too much shooting there anyways. Bojan Bogdanovic is going to come in. He's obviously a tremendous shooter in and of himself. We're going to go ahead and set this rotation. I'll see you guys with it. So this team in this rotation is going to be looking like this under first-year head coach Chauncey Billups. I think we're in a really good spot right now. We definitely should be a playoff contending team. I think we should be hypothetically around anywhere from like a 5 to a 7 seed. I could definitely see us in there. Here's how it's going to look, though. Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, still one of the best backcourts in the entirety of the NBA. I don't really think anybody's denying that. Norman Powell is now here. I'm really excited to see what he can do for this squad. We just picked up Bojan Bogdanovic, who's definitely going to add some floor spacing to this team. Because Yusuf Nurkic, not the best shooting big man, if you will. So he's going to be in here. I need him to grab boards. I need him to just be an absolute monster in that young post. So we should be good there. Anthony Simons, going to be my 6th man. I'm really excited to see what he can do here. I actually, quickly do want to check out his contract. Is he okay, so he is a free agent this offseason. We definitely do want to get him back. Followed by Cody Zeller. We got Larry Nance Jr. We got Nasir Little. And then I'm actually not even giving Dennis Smith Jr. any minutes. I just don't really feel like it's worth it. He's here if Dame fouls out or Dame needs a break or whatever it is. But Dame's playing 38 minutes a night. I think that makes sense. He's without a doubt the best player on this team. And I'm just not a big fan of Dennis Smith Jr., if I'm being honest. So that's how the squad's looking. I will see you guys at the end of year number 1 here in Portland. And year number 1 here in Portland does come to an end. We're a 7 seed. I predicted 5 through 7. Very, very fitting. So we're in the play-in tournament. That's not exactly where I want to be, but we're hopefully going to get that done. Luka Doncic, your MVP. 34 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. He's very good. Evan Mobley, Rookie of the Year. Him, Scotty Barnes, Chris Duarte. All looking very, very promising for that award right now. Andre Drummond, 6th man. Always happens. Giannis also always happens. Precious Achiuwa, Most Improved. Quinn Snyder, Coach of the Year, 55. and 27 over there. Alrighty, we got the Memphis Grizzlies here in the first round. We'll take a look at some stats and standings real quickly. We finished with a record of 40 and 42, so we were under 500, which is not exactly where we want to be. I thought this team was definitely an above 500 team, but sometimes this game and myself don't always get along. We'll take a look at some stats now real quick. Looking off, Damian Lillard, 27 points, 3.5 boards, 6.5 assists. Kind of back to his old self. You'd like to see it. CJ McCollum doing well. Norman Powell, very solid campaign. Bogdanovic, very happy we got him. Nurkic, double-double, exactly what I'm looking for. Simons, Zeller, and Nance. You can take a look at the rest right there if you do wish. Rebounds per game went to Nurkic, and assists was Dame. So, we win, we're in. We got the We got the Memphis Grizzlies here in the first round. Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr. They got Steven Adams now, Kyle Anderson, Xavier Tillman. We got one game. Can we get it done? And we do. We will now face the Los Angeles Clippers here in the first round of the NBA playoffs. Eric Bledsoe, Duncan Robinson they traded for, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, who's having an MVP year right now, Serge Ibaka, Vita Zubats, Marcus Morris Sr., Terrence Mann. Dude, I'm so happy to see Paul George just like, not that he's ever been like bad, but like, I don't know. I just like seeing him play really well because like without a doubt, like he was one of my like back in his like Indiana days, without a doubt, one of my favorite superstars. We got to beat him right now, though. We're 2-2 right now. We go down 3-2, and we lose in 6. Alrighty. Well, we won the play-in game. We did what we were supposed to do. The 76ers go on to win the finals. Talk about a team that's really looking good. When, you know, I expected them to be good. I just didn't expect them to be this good. You know, obviously there's a lot of nightmarish situations going on in Philadelphia right now. I mean, Tobias Harris has COVID. Ben Simmons is a little bitch. So, I mean, there's just a lot going on. Good to see they're doing well, and obviously, you know, this game doesn't translate to in real life, but, you know, good to see you in the game anyways. So, we'll head up to league meetings right now. We're going to deny all these wholly approved. We got a lot of these approved real quick. I always just love seeing, like, how funny some of these are. Draft lottery time. I do not think we traded for any picks or have any picks here. We do not. We'll sim the top 3. It's going to be the San Antonio Spurs, the Sacramento Kings, and the Indiana Pacers. The menu always gets like stuck right here. Like I have to hit it a couple times. I'm going to do some coaching stuff. I'm not going to fire Chauncey Billups or anything like that. I'll see you guys with our next move. So we're up to the draft right now. We do not have a ton of picks. It is unfortunate. We only have our second round pick this year. I don't really want to give up a ton of assets to move up. That being said, I do have a decent amount of assets to play with here. I mean, Greg Brown, he's second round pick, correct? Yes, he was back in 2021. I wouldn't mind trying to use him a little bit. I just don't know if, you know, he's going to maximize that overall enough to the point where I'm really going to be able to use him. Like, I'd love to replace him with Nance. I just don't know. They have Jared Butler as well, who was also a second-round pick for them back in 2021. He's entering the final year of his contract. Again, I just don't know if that overall is going to be there. So they could be trade pieces for me. I'm not going to move up in this year's draft, though. I'm just going to trade. Okay, nobody even wants this second-round pick. If I had a single other second-round pick, it'd be fine. But nobody wants that, so we're just going to see who they draft for me. At the 15th overall pick in round number 2, I get Judd Snow out of Washington State. 70 overall. It's going to be a roster spot. Why not? Team player options, we got none. We head up to qualifying. CJ Ellaby, probably not. Anthony Simons, definitely. Trenton Watford, ooh, he's from... Oh. Why does that name sound familiar? Was he like a Cinderella story in the tournament or something? I don't know why I feel like he was. But Simon's going to be the only one getting the qualifying right here. We will now hit it into free agency. We definitely have to bring back Yusuf Nurkic. We definitely have to bring back Anthony Simons, and I don't really care about the other two right now. Does he have an actual offer? I didn't give him a qualifying. That's great. All right, Nurkic, I'm going to probably give him around 19.5 a year. It's, you know, it's a little bit backloaded, I would say. And then Simons, I'm going to wait just because it's going to give him a little glitch where he just accepts the qualifying. So we're not making a ton of big signings or anything like that right now. We also do need to replace that backup center spot as we don't have bird rights on Cody Zeller. But other than that, we should be pretty much set. I think we're in a really good spot right now. I might make a trade or two, but nothing too serious. So we get Yusuf Nurkic back. That's something we 100% had to do. We'll now move on to getting Anthony Simons back, because we cannot just let him walk either. It's actually on a pretty good contract. So good value right there. We do have to address the backup center position right now. And yeah, we might make a trade or two. I would love to acquire John Collins if it was possible. Is it going to be? I have absolutely no idea. We're going to try to give up Bojan Bogdanovic and Larry Nance Jr. for the young star power forward. They're not going to do that. Unfortunately, we're just really stretched on like first round picks, and it looks like they can't afford any more money. So we're basically, oh wow, just took one first round pick. Alrighty, John Collins, welcome to the team. That is definitely a huge upgrade at that power forward spot. Nothing against Bogdanovic, but John Collins, much younger. Definitely an upgrade there. So I'm going to have to figure out what I want to do at this backup spot. I don't think Greg Brown or Judd Snow are definitely answers there. We also do need to address the backup center position, as I just mentioned. Other than that, though, I'm very comfortable with how the rest of this team is looking. I think we're at a really good spot. So we'll probably try to sign. We got to, you know, prioritize the center first. That 100% has to happen. I don't really want to bring Hassan Whiteside back, but do I have to? Actually, let's sign Boogie. we'll sign Boogie on a 2-year deal. We might regress a little bit, but not the end of the world. And then do we have any really good power forward options? Actually going to let me bring back Rocco. I'll honestly take it. I mean, I know I traded him to start this video, but he's definitely a little bit better than, Greg Brown or Judd Snow would be right now. So we still do have the young pieces here. We can move them if we want at some point in time. Get another veteran piece in Covington and, DeMarcus Cousins here off the bench. I think we're in a good spot. I will see you guys at the start of year number 2. We have one major change to the starting 5 here for the start of year number 2, that being the insertion and addition of John Collins. I think he's a tremendous upgrade at that power forward spot. I think he's going to do a lot of good things for us. It's Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, Norman Powell, John Collins, and then Yusuf Nurkic, who we also re-signed, a very big re-signing in my opinion anyways. Our bench unit, it's okay. It's definitely probably the one thing we do need to address this offseason if we do have to address anything, but it's going to be Anthony Simons, Nasir Little, DeMarcus Cousins, and Robert Covington. So we're still in a good spot. It's definitely not something to be too worried about. I just think, the bench, having only one 78 plus overall is never really ideal, but it's what we got to work with right now. Again, something we can work on this offseason, but I do think this team should be higher than a 7 seed, hopefully maybe top 5. I will catch you guys at the end of year number 2. We finished up year number 2 here as a 5 seed in the Western Conference. We are actually a lot higher for a lot of the season. We are actually up to a 2 seed around the trade deadline. And then this team just lost 8 out of 10 games. It was really painful to see, but nonetheless, still in the playoffs. We definitely should be hopefully in a better spot than last year. Luka Doncic going back-to-back. In the MVP department, Chet Holmgren, your Rookie of the Year, is in Detroit. Kobe White, 6th Man of the Year, is in Chicago. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jonathan Kuminga, and Chris Finch is your Coach of the Year. So we're not in the play-in. That's always good. Don't have to worry about losing 1 game and then being out, or potentially losing 2 games and then being out. You know what I'm saying. We finished with a record of 46-36. That's a lot better than last year, in which we went 40-42. I'll take that. We're 11 games behind the 1-seeded Minnesota Timberwolves. And wow, Detroit doing things over there in the East. We'll also take a look at some stats on the year, see how everybody was doing. Damian Lillard still doing his thing. CJ McCollum, John Collins, Norman Powell, Simons. Yusuf Nurkic went a couple points down, but that's expected with a scoring power forward such as John Collins. DeMarcus Cousins, Nasir Little, Robert Covington, Jared Butler actually got some playing time as well. Rebounds was Nurkic, and assist was Dame. We will sim the play-in real quick, and we got the Memphis Grizzlies here in the first round. John Morant, Desmond Bane, Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr., Xavier Tillman. Still a very, very good team. We'll go game by game with them. We win game 1. We lose game 2. We win game 3 on our home floor. We win game 4 on our home floor. And can we close them out here in 5 games? We do. Moving on to the next round. And here come the 1-seeded Minnesota Timberwolves. D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, talking about a hell of a sophomore season. Jaden McDaniels, Jared Vanderbilt, Karl Anthony Towns. They, for some reason, traded for Clint Capella. Naz Reid's off the bench as well. I don't know why. I've been seeing it a lot so far in 2K22 when teams just have a really good center, and then they have another really good center off the bench, and then just another center. I don't really understand if it's some script in the game that makes it happen, but it's a very weird concept. We're up 2-0 here against Minnesota. They take game 3. They take game 4. So we won 2 on their home court. They won 2 on ours. Not exactly ideal. We have lost 3 straight games. We're going to a game 7. I don't play unless it's in the NBA Finals, and we lose in 7, so we blew a 2-0 lead. Not exactly what you want to see. Philadelphia going back-to-back, and Joel Embiid wins his 2nd straight Finals MVP. They defeat the Minnesota Timberwolves in 5 games. I don't really know how that Timberwolves team was in the Finals. They're good, they're up and coming, but there's no shot they should have been in the NBA Finals. Never mind a 1 seed. Alrighty, we'll hit the draft lottery real quick. We definitely don't have any picks in here. I haven't traded for anything. It's probably not really going to be a big video where we're drafting anybody. The Knicks have the 1st overall pick. Well, that is interesting. I'm probably not going to do much in the coaching department. I'm fine with Chauncey Billups. So we'll head up to the NBA draft right now. I don't really foresee myself making any major trades. We don't have any first-round picks this year. The one I could maybe make would be Norman Powell. And again, it's nothing against him. I'm just not really trading any of these other 4 guys. So we'll glance. It's not like he's playing bad whatsoever. So, we'll see. But other than that, we definitely do need to work on the bench. So I'll work on Cousins, and I'll do a 2nd-round pick. Can I get an upgrade? Tristan Thompson, not really huge in any way, shape, or form. But Marcus Cousins also 100% should be in the league right now. I find it crazy. He doesn't have a roster spot. Yeah, so not really seeing any, solidified upgrade right there. We're not going to draft anybody, so maybe we'll get a couple options after team player options. Greg Brown, Judd Snow are both going to come back. They could also be trade pieces for us. Qualifying, Nasir Little definitely going to get it. I'll actually give it to Jared Butler as well. He's up to a 74 overall. I'd like to get him some playing time. I just don't know how feasible it is, and then Nasir Little is a free agent. So I'm actually fine when Nasir Little's my backup small forward. So what I'm going to do is give him the little qualifying offer glitch. We should be good there, and then I'm going to wait on Jared Butler just because, again, he's restricted. I can match it. So we're probably going to try to make a trade or 2. I'll see you guys with that move. We're going to try to acquire OG Anunoby here from the Toronto Raptors. Funny enough, would be sending Norman Powell back to Toronto. Points per game wise anyways, it's definitely still Norman Powell in that department. Overall wise, we get 4 years younger here with OG Anunoby. He's definitely a better defensive player. I think it'd be an upgrade overall. I just think we're just going to keep seeing regression from Norman Powell, and that's not something I want to see. So I'd be willing to throw in a couple young pieces here as well, just because I'm probably honestly not going to use them. So if they want to take that, I'd also be mainly willing to give up one more first, and I do agree to that. So it is an upgrade in my opinion, even if it's just in the overall department. I think there's definitely other places, such as defense, that's definitely huge that this team definitely could address. So welcome to the team, OG Anunoby. Definitely going to be moving forward with him. I'm a little iffy on CJ, but he hasn't been regressing as much as he typically does, which is good. Like by, this point in a normal video, he's typically running around like an 81, 82 overall. He's an 84 right now. His point went down 1 point per game. I'm not worried about that. But other than that, I probably do want to try to address the backup center and backup power forward spot. I'm not in love with DeMarcus Cousins. I can see my options here in free agency right now. Like a Gallinari is always an option. I don't know who George Brooks is. Is this one of the G League dudes? Probably. Okay. We could also maybe go after like a Willie Cauley-Stein. I would love to sign Gallo. I just think he's going to regress too much. You know what? I'll probably sign Gallo, and then maybe I'll trade him, just because that trade value is actually probably pretty high right now. So we'll sign Danilo Gallinari. We're probably going to throw him in the trade finder for either a different backup power forward, or we'll trade for a backup center. And now let's see some of our options here. Hopefully, ooh, Kim Birch. Not bad. Neesmith. Jalen Johnson's here. Hasn't played a minute for the Atlanta Hawks. Wow. Kai Jones as well. 5-4. It's not horrible. I actually wouldn't mind that. Damian Collins, I just saw. Ooh, Saban Lee. Or I could just take Cody Zeller back. Honestly, I'm just going to take Cody Zeller back. I feel like that's a smart option. He's an upgrade over Boogie right now, at least in the game anyways. We'll now move on from DeMarcus Cousins. We'll do 2 first-round picks, and I need a power forward of some sort. Jalen Johnson might be my option. I could also go after Peyton Pritchard, but we don't really need a point guard at all. Usman Garuba, 4-3. It's not terrible. But I do really like the potential of Jalen Johnson. So we're going to take Jalen Johnson. Hasn't actually technically really played at all, but we're going to roll the dice. This is how the squad is going to look going into the final year. I'll see you guys with the rotation. Third and final season for us here in Portland. The starting 5 has one major change once again with the addition of OG Anunoby at that small forward spot. CJ's now down to an 81. I maybe should have seen that one coming, but again, I didn't really have any reason to trade him. He wasn't playing bad at all. And I just don't also want to piss off Timberwolves Trailblazer fans. Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, OG Anunoby, John Collins, and Yusuf Nurkic is how I was looking here for the third and final year. Our bench unit probably got a little bit better in my opinion. Anthony Simons, Nasir Little, condition of Cody Zeller once again, and then Jalen Johnson, who again hasn't really played, but we're going to take a little bit of a risk there. We've been up to a 5 seed. It's a little bit of a lot to ask to go ahead and go from a 5 seed to winning a championship. We're going to see if we can get it done. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 3. So 2 major surprises to end the third and final season for us here in Portland. One being that we're a 1 seed. That is absolutely awesome. I wouldn't say surprised, but pleasantly happy, I think is a better word for that. Jason Tatum, MVP. Before this year, 3 years down the line, if I'm looking before this regular season started, I would say that's not that crazy. I don't know what the hell is going on with Jason Tatum right now, dude. But as a Celtics fan, it hurts to see. It really, really does hurt to see because I know he's such a good player. There's just got to be something mental, or I don't know what it is, but we're not going to focus on that. Congrats, JT. Emoni Bates, Rookie of the Year, is in New York. PJ Washington, 6th Man of the Year in Memphis. Giannis Antetokounmpo wins his, what is this now, 3rd straight Defensive Player of the Year. Jalen Smith, Most Improved. Ime Udoka, Coach of the Year, 61-21 over there in Boston. And we're a 1 seed over here in the West, and you love to see it. 57-25, 6 games up on the New Orleans Pelicans. Those Celtics, pretty good in this video game. Alrighty, player stats. Dame's still doing his thing. CJ McCollum, very happy I didn't trade him. Very, very happy I didn't move on from him. I wasn't really ever considering it, but when I saw that 81 overall, I got a little bit nervous, but he's still doing his thing. John Collins, Yusuf Nurkic, OG Anunoby. So we lost a little bit in the scoring department while trading Norman Powell, but again, we definitely gained a lot in the defense department. Alrighty. We'll see who we're facing in the first round. It's going to be Dallas. So we got Luka, Markelle Fultz, Taylor Horton-Tucker, Marvin Bagley, Moses Brown. They've made some changes to their team. That goes without being said. I meant to go, simulate game. We're down 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2. Can we come back? 3-3. And can we move on to the next round? Ah, brother. I don't know what it is, man. Philly 3-peats. Dude, I just don't get this game sometimes, man. All right, I do a 4th year. I just don't have time. I got to go to class. But, whoops, that's not our team. Nonetheless, this was a fun one. It's good to see Dame still, playing well again. Other than that, I really don't know. I thought this team should have Like you're a 1 seed, you win 57 games, you have Damian Lillard on your team, you should win, at least the first round, I would say. But nonetheless, this was a good one. I thought this team actually came out pretty well. Some of the regression this year in 2K almost seems a lot worse than in previous years. Like, I don't mind how there's not crazy progression anymore, but it almost seems like they turned down the progression sliders and they also really shot down, or I guess shot up, the regression sliders. I don't know. It's weird, man. It is what it is. Alrighty, if you guys have any other video ideas, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section. As always, if you guys are new around here, feel free to subscribe to the channel, join the community. That pretty much wraps this one up. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll see you guys all in the next one.